out how to do this introduction.
Ready to give it a whirl, Jere? All right. Nick, plug him in.
I should get that other line for the guitar going. Is it the orange one that's down there?
Yep. Trade over. We'll read that.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Jere Stormer, and I think I'll start out with a song called Actual Size that is indeed actual size. Kill me, but it don't make me hesitate to try those things that thrill me. Like Otis Redding sang it in the dark of the bay. I let my love go off without thinking. I could rewind and get back to the place. I could face the truth without blinking. Right between my eyes, this love is actual size. It's actual size. Now I used to climb to the volcano top just to say that I could get higher. I finally learned it's good to stop before you in the fire. I'm trying hard to swallow this lump in my throat, dry the tears from my eyes. You always knew just how to get my goat, but I'm so gettable, go wide. Much to my surprise, this love is actual size. Actual size. Baby, take another life. I had a brain. You were my wife, baby. Another day. I have a heart. I have the courage. Actual size. It's actual size. Thank you very much. That's one of those CD opener songs. I should mention my CD. It's over there with Eric's and David's. Jim.
Now this one is a 12 string with 6 strings. Don't ask. That's a good solution. Oh, I want to introduce my backup band. A lot of people have been going through this. Rhythm section, vitamin C. Decongestion, contact. Fisherman's friend for the throat. Give it up for Fisherman's friend. Robitussin on bass guitar.
Slam it! Slam it!
Makes it possible. Thank you. Come on, boys, take a bow, take a bow. Don't go distribute yourselves or something. This song's called Look Inside Yourself. It's not really an invitation for self-therapy or anything, but spare time, I channel for entities from parallel universes, or univi, what do you call that? There's a parallel universe I've been exploring lately.
For
somehow this universe, Little Richard's Bill Monroe, and Bill Monroe is Little Richard, and things got really scrambled in terms of bluegrass and rhythm and blues, and things got really crazy. So I've been doing sort of heavy metal bluegrass by Red Zeppelin and the Misty Mountain Boys and the Moody Bluegrass Boys. So I'm gonna try to get into a trance here, just kind of face the light here. Yeah. If I had a cowboy hat, it would work even better. Here's a song by the Moody Bluegrass Boys called Nancy White Satin. Come on, boys. That's why it satin never reaching the end. There's a written little bird in the sand. There's always been in these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you. Oh, I love you. Shoot, I love you. Wholehearted Lord that rules the night, hides our spirit from our sight. Red is green, yellow is white. We decide which is right. What is an illusion? That's why it's after you never reach the end. This is my Red Zeppelin. Hey, mama, now the way you move, gonna make you sweat, I'm gonna make you groove. Hey, mama, way you shake that thing, gonna make you burn, gonna make you swing. Hang, hang. Finish ready, help me. Thank you very much. Haze walks in my brain. They lay things they don't seem the same. Acting funny, but I don't know why. I said I didn't know why. This is the Bluegrass Channel verse. Green Acres is the place to be. Living is the life for me. Man, stretching out Manhattan, give me that countryside.
Smash the guitar! Smash the guitar!
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to sort of even that out after the show. Thank you very much. I think I'm out of it now. I'd like to do a song for you, the only song in my whole life I've ever dreamed. You know how there's that kind of conscious dreaming where you know you're dreaming and you're thinking, this is very interesting. You become aware of your dream. So I had this dream. My wife and I were playing on a co-ed softball team at the time. So I was playing catch with this dark-haired woman in the park, and we were trying to throw the softball through the tree so it wouldn't hit a branch so we could each catch it. So I figured, yeah, that's Judy. And turns out, flash forward, it's Joan Baez, you know. Joan, I don't know how Joan Baez occupied my dream, but you know, some people from high school get in your dream, some people won't. So anyway, Joan Baez is in my dream. And she's sitting at the picnic table with this guitar, and she's got a lyric sheet in front of her, and she's strumming this melody, and she's singing this song. And I'm looking over her shoulder, and I'm reading the song, and I'm going, this is a pretty good song. I mean, so I woke up, and I looked for the radio. I thought, well, what am I listening to? What's going on? And I knew this melody was real indelible in the dream, but the words took a while to piece together. But it's basically about a minor league ball player who's like on his last year of his career. So it's called Winter on the Line. Vitamin C! Get your chia? My backup band. Well, it's a long way from Gainesburg to Fenway if you go. Took me almost 12 years just to make it to the show. Only took a season now. I'm back again, one fallout, one sacrifice later. The coach told me, son, baseball's just a game where your life gets suspended between the fourth and the fifth. Playing with a ball in Juarez, I'm following the sign. Clear through to February, 'cause winter's on the line. I married my sweet Belinda on the opening day way. Took a vows at home, played right on the field of play. Couldn't afford a dime, at least the kind that really shines. So I offered her a green field, red summer all the time. And everywhere I wander, come to call it home, from Syracuse to Asheville to your voice on the phone. It's like Heat on a stiff muscle like a sap little vine. Make me believe I'll never feel better on the line. Grown-up's not easy, but it happens anyway. Find yourself believing that you threw your life away. Your body betrays you, your mind begins to know. Maybe you can't play forever. Well, there's an old man selling red hots to the people in the stands. I can picture it so clearly, but I'll never understand. Baseball season's over while I still want to play. So I button up my collar, 'cause winter's on the way. I'll do one more, and then we'll get David Stocker and John Tony Finlayson to do their thing, which encompasses quite a bit if I haven't broken this. You know who Sun Ra is? He's a band leader who's truly from outer space. I believe him when he says he's from an alien culture, from another planet. I was seeing his band performing in a New Year's Eve party, nightclub, jazz club. And of course, his whole orchestra did the conga line around all the tables. And he came to my table, he put his hand on my shoulder, and he said, "It's after the future, the next stop is Jupiter." I said, "Wow, I'm going to write that song, thank you." So this is kind of a science fiction blues boogie based on Son House's Def Letter Blues. It's after the future, after the rain comes down. I said it's after the future, it's after the rain comes down. We'll follow this river till it takes me right out of town. It's after the future, it's after the water's turned to wine. I'm gonna dive down to the bottom, drink up all that's mine. Get drunk on your memories, swallowing your precious time. Sweet honey, sweet honey, sweet honey from the rock. You want something worth waiting for, don't wait on the clock. I opened the luggage of the future just to see what it held inside. I looked at the menu of the future, but I still couldn't decide. And I'm standing at the crossroads, bound to take that ride. Sweet honey, sweet honey from the rock. You want something worth waiting for? Wait on the cloud. Well, it's after the future, it's after the facts, after the lies and the personal attacks, after your sickness and after your health, after your vitamins and all your will. I hear you invented a new machine that'll put it into this death routine. There's no side effects, no one to blame. But wait a minute, I think I hear it calling my name. Say, wait a minute, I think I hear it calling my name. After the future, baby, after the waters turn to wine, down to bottle, drink up all that's mine. Yeah, drunk on your memories, swallowing the precious time. After the future, after the future, after the future, baby, future, baby, future, baby, future, baby. David says it's a good time for one more, so I guess I will. Here's my bitter treatise about the music industry. It's called The Only Good Rock and Roller's a Dead Rock and Roller. Well, the only great folk singer is a late folk singer. Roller is a dead rock and roller. The only good rock and roller is a dead rock and roller. The only real rock and roller is a real rock and roller. It's like Elvis at a Woodstock. The Rolling Stones land on Plymouth Rock. And you two can be the new kid on the block if you're ready to pay. The only lame rock and roller is a tame rock and roller. The only lame rock and roller is a tame rock and roller. Hey kid, you know what the risk is. Don't you know it's a formula business? Hey kid, you know what the risk is. Are you ready to play? Be careful of what you wish for. Be careful of what you pay. Success can take what you love the most and turn it into pain. And I get one more photograph. You know Kurt Cobain. Hurry or you'll miss your plane. The only good rock and roller is a dead rock and roller. The only real rock and roller is a field rock and roller. The only lame rock and roller is a tame rock and roller. The only great folk singer is a late folk singer. The only serious blues singer is a delirious blues singer. The only good rock and roller is a dead rock and roller. Hey kid, you know what the risk is? Thank you. It's great to thank each audience individually. Stay tuned for more good music.
Should we do something radical? What the heck would we do?
Yeah, I'll be out in a moment.
No. Some teenage women out in the hallway. Or they're, you guys are louder than I am. Here I'm getting started. You guys get up. Build again. Build up. We take some pictures. You guys should take some photographs. Generate a way to save at least for ourselves.
That's radical.
I'm tired of exciting myself.
I think,
What's the name, babe?
I'm gonna.
Silly you. Silly. Should we just have a jam? Just put ourselves together and jam. Do a sing around for the rest of the time, just ourselves. No, we'll get another wave in here. Think so? Yeah. This is just a little lull, it's quiet.
I can just do a song or bullshit. I mean, I'll do loud ones, I don't know.
So just do what you're gonna do. You can do a sing around. You can do a, quiet.
I mean, like a circle around
Could do. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. Next up. fucking madman, you know.
I'll do the antithesis of an opening song. Okay?
The antithesis of an opening song. All right.
Why not? Comes from Royal Oak, Michigan. I wrote a song about this murder in the town. It's kind of semi-notoriously famous. A disgruntled postal worker.
Isn't that redundant?
A gruntled postal worker. Everybody tune down.
Look out here and yell free beer and make it.
So I typically introduce this song.
Want some rhythm? Want some rhythm? When you're ready for rhythm.
Yeah.
Is there a little harmonica in there too?
It's kind of like a.
It's got it.
Mother tucks her baby in. Children have gone out to play. According to the weather forecast, it's gonna be a normal day. A letter to California. It's just a piece of mail. There's no one there to warn you. Now it's time to tell the tale. His mind awoke in a nightmare. His future died in that dream. Been reduced to nothing. Night showed with nothing but evil. In headache and in worry. His reason leaking away. Time will claim his anger. Tomorrow or today. Tom McGuinn was an angry man. Right down to his soul. A mad raging killer. He never played that role before. Some say he just couldn't take it. Some say they pushed him too far. Now his fingers point to blame him. No finger can point to that scar. Asked why, but does anyone really want to know? We ask why they died. Lloyd O'Pio. Now the first shot sounded like popcorn. Curious heads turned around to see the bloody side of vengeance. Fired before they could flee. Now the meathead Escondido. They all know his name. But fame wasn't what he was after. He just needed someone's name. cashier knocks at your cellar door. The desert sighs in your bed. Crack in the teacup opens. The lane of the land of the dead. One fragile push and they're over. One final click and that's all. The thread that held you is broken. Into the darkness you fall. So you plunge your hands into the water. Plunge them up to your wrists. Stare into the basin. Wonder how you've been missed. The kiss of life seems much sweeter. As the calendar pages grow thin, the world around you changes. It changes back again. Sounds familiar.
right. He's hoping for that someday, he's looking for a chance. Build his dreams tomorrow, see his children dance. That's just the way of the company man. He knows what he's doing about the best he can. Maybe wrong, but folks will understand. That's just the way the company lies. Living with the rumors, ain't a soft charade. $1,000 bonus, straight accolade. Guess it doesn't really matter if your collar's blue or white. When it tightens, it can wake you in the middle of the night. That's just the way the company man knows what he's doing about the best he can. Maybe wrong, but folks will understand. That's just the way the company man. Some people spend their whole lives like money. I punch the clock with an open hand. The boss says, kid, don't you know you're living in the land of milk and honey? So why am I holding sand? Here's to all your company men. Punch, drunk, burnout poet trapped inside your skin. Never listened once when they told you twice. You could never grow young again. Let them keep their gold watch. You got no time for their foolish grin. Let them take the benefits in the grave they put you in. Too young to die, won't live the life. The company men. Yeah. So here we are. This song, sentimental song about my daughter. She was born in the most notorious of years, 1984. That'll make her 16 in the year 2000, so here's a song called Sweet 16 in the year 2000. Twas the night before Christmas, and a shot rang out. Once upon a time, a child was born. History shrank on that very evening. It was the winter league before. Now my little girl changed the world as I know it. Doctor reacted surprised, 'cause we were staring straight through to the 21st century, looking straight into her eyes. She'll be sweet
16 in the year 2000. Year 2000, year by now. She's a wide-eyed child in this push-button world. Tiny hands touch things that we'll never see. Signal by signal through the megabyte folder. It's an alphabet we cannot read. But I hold to the notion it's a big old wide world. As I cling to this island as it's washing away. Time after time, never ending. Till I slip through the needle and reach it halfway. When you're sweet 16 in the year 2000, spirit that's burning so bright. Sweet 16 in the year 2000. Don't you blow out the candles, don't you turn out the light. Hey, sweet 16, you got the world to be left you. Battered, battered, torn. Hold your head high, but you crossing that threshold. Now there's more people living than have ever been born. Now the sweet 16 in the year 2000. No one can show them the way. You can preach and you can teach them. You can scare them, you can scare them. But it won't stop time passing and it won't make them say, yeah, sweet 16 in the year 2000. Helplessly humming home. Sweet 16 in the year 2000. Year 2000, year by now. Don't you blow out the candles, don't you turn out the light.
There you go. Or we could just kind of bring it into a service format.
Down here on earth, my attitude is bad. Living away, saving first. The only microchip on my shoulder I've ever had. I got a little company, it's dead. There's a special set of table wishes for you. Snow on the video too.
couple changes on this. It's kind of fun, but it'd be great. It'd be great. It's in the D of funk mode. Let's go dance around the lobby.
So you play the didgeridoo, do you do the circular bending?
Yeah. You mean where air comes in my ass and out my mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of courage.
How long did it take you to learn that?
I brought one back.
It's not a hell of a lot more complex than rubbing your tummy and patting your head. If you were as amused by that as a child as I was, the task of circular breathing conquered it. See if I'm up it. Rocking. This is a modal thing that goes from major to minor.
We have a great big hand for one of our greenhouse favorites, Jere Stoner.
Hi. This turned into a much nicer weather day than it was when I was here earlier. 3. I kind of jumped the gun. I thought this thing was at 3, so I was hanging around here. Getting glad. Well, I perform around the area. I performed at one other function here at the greenhouse. And I like to support causes I believe in musically. And I'll try to do more of my labor intensive songs. I mostly write my own, but here's one that's pretty old. This is was written sometime in the 30s by Merle Travis. Come all you young miners, so fair, so fine. Seek not your fortunes way down in mine. It'll form as a habit, it'll seep in your soul, till the blood in your veins runs as black as a coal. 'Cause it's dark as a dungeon, damp as a dune. Your dangers are double and the pleasures are few. And the rain never falls and the sun never shines. Well, it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mines. I've known in my day. Live but to labor his whole life away. Like a fiend with his dope, like a drunkard his wine. Man must have lust for the lure of the mind. The morning and the evening and the middle of the day, sing to the miner who labors away. And the one who's not careful will never survive. One slip on the slate and you're buried alive. And I hope when I die and the ages shall roll, my body will blacken and turn into coal. And I look down from up on my heavenly home to the miner who's digging my bones. Well, it's dark as a dungeon, ain't best to do. Dangers are double, and the pleasures are few. And the rain never falls, and the sun never shines. Well, it's dark as a dungeon, way down in the mines. It's dark as a dungeon, way down in the mines. It's dark as a dungeon, way down in the Yeah, it's a pretty old one from the book of Old Merle Travis there. Kind of cheery number, so do something a little lighter. Just a little bit. Maybe it's still kind of a serious song, but it's a little bit sarcastic, so if sarcasm is lighter to you, that's what I'm doing. It's a song I wrote called Company Man. It has this little instrumental intro. Well, he gets up in the morning, goes to sleep at night. He eats his lunch at noontime. Keeps his hours right. He's hoping for that someday. He's looking for a chance. Build his dreams tomorrow. See his children dance. Well, that's just the way of the company man. He knows what he's doing about the best he can. May be wrong, but he hopes you'll understand. That's just the way of the company man. Living with the rumors, game of soft charade, $1,000 bonus, serrate accolade. 'Cause it doesn't really matter if your collar's blue or white. When it tightens, it can wake you in the middle of the night. That's just the way the company man knows what he's doing about the best he can. Maybe wrong, but he hopes you'll understand. That's just the way the company man. Some people spend their whole lives like money. I punch the clock with an open hand. The boss says, kid, don't you know you're living in the land of milk and honey? So why am I holding sand? Oh, this applause, it's like a symphony or something. Nobody knows when to clap. Yeah, do some rhythm.
I had it.
Well, here's to all your company men and women. To the punch-drunk, burnout poet who's trapped inside your skin. Never listened once when they told you twice you could never grow young again. Let them keep their gold watch. You got no time for their foolish grins. Let them take the benefits and the grave they put you in. Too young to die. Won't live the life. Company man. That's pretty definite, isn't it? Somebody does this and then shakes all the notes out of the guitar. You know the song's done. Here's one of my favorite folk songs. It's by Phil Oakes. Oops. I kind of do it reggae style. Walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walks through the sun. Walk through the rain. Here's a land full of power and glory. Beauty words cannot recall, for her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. Colorado, Kansas, and the land full of power and glory. Beauty words cannot recall. All her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Glory shall rest on us all. On us all. Thank you so much. I got one that, since at least one person here has a job at the post office, I know a lot of people through the years who've worked there. There's a great tradition of Detroit disc jockeys working at the post office. Ed Love, a legendary jazz disc jockey, just retired from the post office a few years ago. Jere, one of the original underground DJs, is still a mail carrier, I believe. And I know a couple of friends, and they're actually, everybody I know who works at the post office is very artistic. There's a photographer and a poet. And the irony hasn't escaped me that so many postal workers are characterized as nuts. So it's, I don't know, it's just one aspect. But one of my good friends was telling me about the Royal Oak Post Office many years ago, well, many years, the early 90s, when they were having such abuses of power there, in terms of the postmaster there was really mistreating the workers. And he said something was going to snap, and something did. So, fortunately, here's a song. Felt I grew up in Royal Oak, so it sort of hit kind of. I didn't know anybody personally who was hurt. So this is called the Royal Oak PO. Mother tucks her baby. Children have gone out to play. According to the weather forecast, it's gonna be a normal day. A letter to California. It's just a piece of mail. With some American. Now it's time to tell the tale. His mind awoke in a nightmare. His future died in that dream. Been reduced to nothing. Now he'd show him what nothing believed. Headache and worry. His reason leaking away. Time will claim his anger. Tomorrow. Tom McGuinn was an angry man, right down to his soul. Mad raging killer, well, he never played that role before. Some say he just couldn't take it. Some say they pushed him too far. Now his fingers pointing to blame him. No finger can point to that sky. That's why does anyone really want to know why? We asked why they died. Royal Oak PO. Now the first shot sounded like popcorn. Curious heads turned around to see. Bloody sight of vengeance. Fired before they could flee. Now
Kathleen and the Escondido. They all know his name. Fame wasn't what he was at. He just needed someone to blame. And as the panic spread, the postmaster fled. He knew time was coming for him. He ran out the back. He ran through the docks to the place where the light was dim, quivering in the motor pool, stewing in his juice. When you turn up the fire, hatred. Why you turn that hatred loose? Then ask why. Why does anyone really wanna know? They ask why they die. Boy, now the glacier knocks at your cellar door. The desert sighs in your bed. Crack in the teacup opens. Lay to the land of the dead. One final push and you're over. One final click and that's all. The thread that held you is broken. Into the darkness you're born. So I plunged my hands into the water, plunged them up to my wrists, stared into the basin, wonder how I'd been missed. And the kiss of life seems much sweeter. The calendar pages blow thin. The world around you changes. It changes back again. Thank you. I don't get a chance to do that one very much. I wonder why. Kind of a special purpose song. Well, I'd like to do one more for you if I could. Maybe something a little brighter. What could not be bright? Well, since Tom already has After the Future on tape, I'll do something else.
Oh.
This is about television commercials. An expensive proposition. It's called Let Us Put Our Hands in Your Pockets. It's a slogan. Oh, and speaking of that, I'm selling my CD if you're interested. I'll give half of it to the Green Party today. The rest of it will go in my gas tank. But anyway, this is called 12 bucks. Tax included. This is called Selling Things. Let us put our hands in your pockets. Let us make you the kind of man you think you ought to be. Let us put our hands up your wallet. You can be as happy as the people on your TV. Let us put our hands in your pockets. This sweater looks real nice. I think I'll take it. Can you tell me what's its price? And do you think that it might give me sex appeal? Like it says on the tag. Where can I go to buy a little piece try a little cover on the sides. They tell me it's the third floor, place to have my fun. In exchange for my soul and my firstborn son. Let us put our hands in your pockets. Let us make you the kind of man you think you ought to be. Let us put our hands up your wallet. You can be as happy as the people on your TV. Let us put our hands in your pockets. Life filled with naked stares. They're only mannequins, some underwears, dancing lightly in the dreams that are for sale. In the cracks between the lines, my eyes are on the tables, my heart is washing wear. My times are still ticking while the third world's in despair. Look at those mosquitoes go from that research man's arm, not knowing that they're causing anybody harm. Let us put our hands in your pockets. Let us make you the kind of man you think you ought to be. Let us put our hands up your wallet. Smoke my kind of cigarette when you really see why life is here, automobile, and then you shall be free. Why you can be as happy as any people you see on your TV. Lettuce, tomato in your pocket. Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Well, I think we all know why Jerry's one of our favorites now. He's terribly, terribly talented. And very grateful to have you here. And thank you all for coming out. I'm glad not everyone went up north for Memorial Day weekend. And nice to see old faces and new faces here today. Let's see here. Did y'all get the new newsletter? If not, Sue's frantically folding and stapling in the other room even as we speak. Watching on TV.
Hi, Sue.
With our low-tech satellite system here. Greenhouse is open Tuesday through Sunday, 2 to 8 p.m. Please come in and do some volunteer work. You can help seed, fold, and staple, or help us walk the neighborhoods, or anything else you feel like doing. Some of the great events we have coming up here. This Wednesday, May 30th, 7 to 9 p.m., we'll be playing the video of Ralph Nader's speech at Wayne State University in the first week of April. And in addition to that, we have a live performance by a wonderful, wonderful duo called GNS. Keyboards and guitars, and they're terrific. Week from today, Sunday, June 3rd, 5 to 8 p.m., Larry Skwarczynski will give a presentation from the Great Panthers. As he describes, National Social Justice Organization extraordinaire, and Mary Thompson and the Delta Children Blues Band. Week from Wednesday, In the Green, that's a video featuring our own Craig Harvey. And then 2 weeks from today here, Sunday, June 10th, 5 to 8 p.m., Vegans in Motion. I'll give a presentation called Vegan and the Environment. That'll be by Miriam and Jim Corcoran, and Bruce Lyles performs. I think many of us here know Bruce. Sure. And there's quite a bit more actually coming up. We actually have presentations booked every Sunday and Wednesday through the mid-August right now. And there's just so many great groups that wanted to come in. Rent is due Thursday, so if you haven't given and you have it, please give now. If you don't have it to give, we're just so glad you're here anyway. I've been asked by Mike Medius to announce that Mike, who was for a period of time was the chair of the Metro Detroit Green Chapter, he's a candidate for mayor of Detroit, and he's in the process of gathering signatures to be put on the ballot. Yes, Jere?
I have petitions for him in my possession.
Oh, wonderful.
Any Detroiters who want to sign this, I have.
Wonderful.
You have to be a Detroit resident.
We didn't catch the name of the person.
Mike Medius? Yes. Also sometimes mispronounced as Medias, if you've heard that, but it is Medius.
I'm Midas.
Not Midas. Mike is actually, he's actually got a scheme to run 100 candidates in the mayoral campaign. Kind of his prank to
Got it.
work the system or break the system. So, and then here's an article about Mike in local scab newspaper, but I'll pass it around if you want to see it. Let's see, I think that's it. Also, I should mention that we have all kinds of great merchandise for sale, bumper stickers, t-shirts, fluorescent light bulbs. Jerry, how'd that work out for you? Did that work?
Excellent.
Good.
Put it in my basement.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a fluorescent light, but it's quite powerful.
good, good. Well, there's a testimonial for you. And I can't remember what else. I think we sold out of the root beer. So, I think that's it on the announcements. So I think I'd like to bring up our featured guest, Paul Felton. Paul is one of the founders of the Labor for Nader group, and he's wrote a wonderful article in his union's newspaper about Nader. And he's taken a whole lot of heat for being on the right side of this stuff here. And he's just an all-around great guy, and I'd like to
Speech.
Thanks, Tom, and thanks for having me here, and thanks for having the greenhouse. It's a great place where all these great ideas are talked about every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank everyone for coming out. Like my article starts, for the past 70 years, the Democratic Party has been in the White House more often than not. And of all those Democratic Party administrations, the Clinton-Gore administration was the worst for labor, absolutely the worst of any of those Democrats. And what does the AFL-CIO leadership do? Come election time, like never before, they worked to get Gore elected, put 10 times more energy than ever before into this Democratic administration that was the worst for us that I've ever seen. And to me, it just makes no sense. It boggles my mind. I'm a postal worker, as was mentioned earlier. Well, we should
Should not do that.
we should talk about that a little bit later in the presentation. It's not postal workers that are nuts; it's the management that's nuts. But anyway, at our national union convention, the American Postal Workers Union, as most of labor did, we endorsed Al Gore. Al Gore was also invited to speak, but gee, we weren't high enough on his priority list. He couldn't make it. There was another presidential candidate who was willing to come to the convention, Ralph Nader, and I put a motion on the floor to invite him to our national convention where there were 2,500 to 3,000 delegates, and it narrowly was defeated. So it wasn't a motion to endorse, just to invite him to speak to us, hear what he had to say. And I guess that's just typical of the labor movement in these last elections, in my view, just shooting themselves in the foot, supporting people who are really on the other side of the battle, and turning our back on our potential allies. I mean, I don't know how, we can review for a few moments the Clinton-Gore record. I don't know how much detail I need to go into with this audience, but I want to start with campaign financing. And Clinton was the one, even more than the Republicans, who revolutionized, if that's the right word, campaign financing practices in such a manner that allowed corporations to give a ton of more money than they ever gave before. And not only did that result in a lot of more annoying TV commercials during the campaign, but it meant during the 4 years that followed, corporate America had a stranglehold on the politics of the Clinton-Gore administration and really both sides, whoever would have gotten elected. People may be sick of hearing about NAFTA and GATT and the WTO and the FTAA and NAFTA for Africa and all these trade deals, but it's really the most important thing that the Clinton-Gore administration did in terms of, and we're still learning new ways in which it's putting a stranglehold on people's economic development. Obviously, we're losing good union jobs in America, and they're being lost to sweatshops overseas. And it's just, now they're talking some of these new trade deals where corporations can even sue to privatize public services and sue not in our courts but in these special tribunals that they have their own seats on and whatever. It's I hear privatizing water is one of the next things that's on their mind. They can sell us. Well, anyway, it's And this is Clinton Gore, and this is part of the record, and it far, far outweighs, in my mind, any little overture that he might have made to labor here and there in terms of the overall picture. Welfare reform. Funny title for it.
They
but,
were gonna fix it, remember?
Obviously, what it did, it threw a lot of people out on the streets who, had been on welfare just into a desperate situation. But from a labor standpoint, it hurts labor. It means there are people desperate to take low wage, just minimum wage jobs that may be contracted out away from union workplaces. And since we're at the greenhouse, I should mention that while Al Gore came into office as vice president with a reputation as an environmentalist, one of the first things that he did is back off on a pledge to close an incinerator in East Liverpool, Ohio, that was within a few hundred yards of an elementary school. And his record in general was running interference for big business among the environmentalists to let them get away with more and more encroachments on our environment that they probably never could have gotten away with the Republicans in office, because they had Gordy environmentalists leading the way. So that's their record. And then I want to turn to the labor union, organized labor's legislative leaders in Washington. I know who our APW's legislative rep is. He's gung-ho for Clinton Gore and the Democrats, and he's not unusual. And their role is to drum up support based on, they'll concentrate on the few differences that there are between the Republicans and the Democrats. And there are some real differences that do carry some weight, do make some difference in people's lives in the real world. But they ignore the fact that both of the major parties are driven by corporate money. And that Clinton Gore reshaped the entire world economy in a manner that's harmful to labor, it's harmful to people in general. To me, the difference is, the perspective I like to put I look at it as you're on a football field, and the Democrats are on the 12-yard line, the Republicans are on the 13-yard line. That's where their differences are, in between there. And the media focuses their camera on that 1-yard line like that's the whole political spectrum, and it really is a game. They have these phony issues or somewhat real issues that they argue about. And that's all politics is in America. But we all forget that 30 years ago they were on the 42-yard line and the 43-yard line, and we've lost about 30 yards while politics shifted. And the camera's been focused on that one little yard line that they're talking about. And we need a different kind of politics. Labor desperately needs a different kind of politics, because labor has been hurting over the past 30 years. Democrats, Republicans. It started during the Carter administration with the Chrysler concessions. It wasn't just Reagan and Patco. Anyway, it seems like some of the issues that come up in that 1-yard line are even staged a little bit. Like Clinton, this ergonomics thing is a really important thing, where OSHA came up with these ergonomic standards, and Bush or the Republican Congress overturned it, and Bush supported that. But the information on ergonomics was around throughout the Clinton administration. But he purposely waited, it seems, till just when he was leaving office, so that the Republicans could overturn it, and he could get a public relations coup on it. Labor would be, see how harmful the Republicans are. But he didn't want to hurt corporate America and dry up his funding by implementing it earlier. And the same thing with the arsenic standard in the water, that just on the way out he put out this new arsenic standard that Bush could overturn, and then we could point the finger at the Republicans. But it's all kind of a game in many ways. Just like politics, just like with the 12 and 13-yard line, it reminds me of something Ralph Nader said several years ago when I heard him speak about the congressional races, that 90% of them are not even seriously contested. There'll be a candidate from each party, but basically one party concedes, doesn't put much money into it. Okay, Conyers has this district, and this Republican has that, and there'll only be a few races that they seriously contest. And more, the two parties are the same, and there's a little show that gets put on, like there's this hotly contested politics in this country, and we need to get beyond that. And labor's legislative reps need to learn something more than that. As a postal worker, my highest management at the national level is a group called the Board of Governors that meets every so often. 9 people, bankers, businessmen, appointed by the president. Right now they're talking about taking steps either towards privatizing or towards some legislative reform that'll make it harder for postal workers to bargain a decent contract, put some curbs on collective bargaining. And they took a hard line in the contract negotiations that we're currently going to arbitration on. These people were appointed by the president. The majority of them were appointed by our so-called friends, Clinton and Gore. And I don't hear from our legislative reps any accountability for why did Clinton appoint these people who are screwing us right now. They were all pointing the fingers at Bush, and any bad thing you can say about Bush I'll agree with, but Clinton and Gore are in the same boat, and we should point the finger both ways. That's not in my notes, but I'm reminded, and the union was sending me, literature at home about why we should. And so Bush was a privatizer in Texas. He tried to privatize hundreds or thousands or whatever of jobs in state government. And I said, wait a minute, what about Gore? What about reinventing? He didn't just try reinventing government. He did privatize. He boasted about how many government jobs he eliminated, and our union leadership wouldn't talk about that because Gore was supposed to be our friend. It just made no sense. So anyway, this past summer, Tom may have exaggerated when he said I was a founder of Labor for Nader, but I was one of the original signers of the statement. People who really got the group off the ground were a couple of UAW presidents, local presidents, Al Benchich and Dan McCarthy. I don't know if anyone knows them here. They're both from the local area. And we put out a flyer, and we, as a union activist, who publicly supported Nader, and the crowning achievement was to bring Ralph Nader to speak in Detroit on Labor Day. And we couldn't be part of the actual Labor Day parade festivities where they had, after the parade, they had a speaker's platform, and no, they wouldn't let him on the program. So at a time that didn't interfere too much with anything else, he spoke a few blocks away to a larger audience and a more enthusiastic audience than Joe Lieberman got, the official main spokesman for the rally. He was the Democratic vice presidential candidate, and he just gave a great speech back then, and that was Labor for Nader's crowning activity during the campaign. Anyway, after the elections, and even during the elections, there was a lot of heat on people who supported Nader from the Democrats, and especially within the labor movement. I read of one official in one of the unions who lost his position because of his vocal support of Nader. I haven't encountered anything that drastic, but there's a lot of heat on us, and and there's a lot of talk about how Nader cost Gore the election. Not that I think Gore would have been any particularly better, but there are some people who do. But I think it's kind of ridiculous to blame Nader for that. I mean, to me, if I can use another sports example, you lose a basketball game by a score of 113 to 112. Now you could take your second string point guard and some shot that he missed in the second quarter and say, well, if he had made that shot, we would have won 114 to 113. But you can take almost any play during that game and say that's what cost you the game. And why are they pointing at Nader when there's so much else that you could point to? And I remember while the election was still undetermined and they were going through all those lawsuits and whatever, seeing Jay Leno, and he was doing his routine